Hello everyone. It's already the end of week 2 and I thought I would check in with you about Module 1 and talk a little bit about Module 2 coming up. So let's get going. All right, first of all, let me thank you all for your introductory posts. In an online class, it can be difficult for us to create a sense of camaraderie, and I think the introductions are very helpful in that way. So thank you for those. The discussion questions. So you've already done the first discussion question in Module 1, and I think everybody did a really fine job on those. Now the second one, the freedom to view discussion question, I just want to acknowledge that it is a highly controversial issue. And that you shouldn't be afraid that you're supposed to give me the right answer, whatever that might be. I am looking for your position on this issue, and you just need to present a well-reasoned argument for your position, and that is all that I'm looking for here. Please keep the responses very respectful and professional, because we can agree to disagree on certain things, potentially. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So don't be afraid of that particular discussion question. The first initial post is due this evening at midnight, and then you have until next Tuesday to respond to your classmates. So looking ahead, let's talk a little bit about Module 2. There's quite a bit going on in this class, and Module 2 is a good example of that. So the first thing you have is Chapter 4 from your textbook. You need to read that and answer the review questions as requested in the assignment. Chapter 4 covers, a lot of foundational information about reference services, so it's an important chapter. Reference services, of course, is a primary function of the library. So there's actually an entire course, semester-long course that you'll be taking eventually, LIBR 222, Reference Resources. You can read the chapter, but it goes into some of the history of reference services, education and training for reference work, types of reference questions, the reference interview, which is so important, a lot of administrative things. So it's a very interesting chapter, and I encourage you to read that carefully and do those questions. The next assignment in Module 2 is the site visit, the Secret Shopper reference site visit. The idea there is for you to get a feeling of how it feels on the customers or the patrons point of view, and to be able to critique a librarian or library worker on their reference skills. So you can read that assignment. If you have any questions about that, please email me. Sorry, I'm not keeping up with my slide here. There we go. And then the final assignment is the social media, the professional development using social media. So I want to talk a little bit about that assignment. It has 2 parts in it. So in the first part, you need to choose a social media platform. Something that you're already using is fine, or if you want to explore something new, that's great. And I want you to use that platform to try to discover groups, peoples, institutions, hashtags in the library field for you to follow. The idea here is that professional development in information work, which is what we're in, is so important. It's so important to keep up on trends and issues in the field, and social media is really a good way to do that for a busy person. I follow a lot of different things on Twitter, and I'm always getting interesting articles to read, what's the latest controversy, just all kinds of stuff, and I don't really have to go searching for it. It kind of comes to me. So that's how social media can help you in professional development. So you can read the assignment, but I want you to to take a look. You don't have to interact necessarily if you don't want to. I mostly just read. I don't do a lot of interacting. It's really just a way for me to gather information. So take note of some opportunities that you discover through social media. You're going to want to identify at least 3 opportunities, ideas, maybe articles that are of interest to you. Take note of these. And in a few weeks, I'm going to ask you to reflect on your experience using social media as a professional development tool. So this is part 1 of the assignment. You're going to go out and do this thing. And then in part 2, I'm going to ask you toward the end of the semester to reflect on your experience. If you want, you can go and read the second part of the assignment so you know what kind of information I'm going to be looking for. That's fine. Do that. If you have any questions about what this is meant to be or how you're supposed to pursue it, please feel free to email me. I want you to be comfortable with what it is you need to be doing here. All right, that's it. I'll put up another one of these in front of Module 3, and we'll see how the semester goes. So far, so good. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.